Hey y'all, thanks for tuning into the Nintendo Drive. If you're hanging out with us on YouTube, be sure to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell icon so you never miss an episode. Or if you're getting cozy and listening to us on your podcast feed, make sure you're following and leaving us nice reviews. You can also support the show on Patreon and pick up some awesome merch. Links to those and more are in the description, but let's get the show started.
Hi, Lockleth.
Hello.
Hey. We already have somebody here in chat live on youtube.com/Carpool Gaming that says, "Hey guys, Lockleth, how's it going too?" So
hey, Vincent,
everybody
how
cares
are
about
you?
Lockleth. Everybody loves Lockleth, man.
Another one of my peeps from my streams. So yeah.
Do you have a name for Lockleth fans? Is there a
I do
Is
not.
there a Lockleth fandom name?
I don't know, but I should lock that in, shouldn't I?
You should lock that in. That's right. You should Lockleth that in. My co-host on All In, Eric, is here in chat. How's everyone feeling? I'm not feeling good, y'all. I'm gonna be honest. I have been sick for the past several days. You can probably tell from my voice. I'm all messed up. I'm on that purple drink. I'm on that NyQuil. And it's gonna be an interesting show tonight, my friend. We're gonna see how it all goes. But we're here. John32 in the chat says Loco Lights. How do you feel about that? Hey, you like Loco Lights?
It's not bad. It's not bad. WIP, work in progress.
Yeah.
Loco
Is that
Lights?
like acolytes? Is that what that is supposed to like be in reference to? That's an interesting one. I don't know. Locksmiths, maybe? I don't know. There's probably something there. There's something with lock. I imagine we can come up with some sort of interesting pun.
It's gotta go off of the name, I feel like, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm conceited enough for it
That's
to be.
me too. Yeah. So somebody asked me on one of our All In Patreon shows, the $2 Hero Cast. Somebody asked me like what the All In fans are called. And I'm like, I don't have a name. Like I'm not conceited enough to be like, here is I decree that you were all called this, you know. And I'm just like, y'all call yourself whatever you want, dude. I just call people friends. Y'all are just
they're already all in, so
yeah, we're all in this together, man. Just like High School Musical. It's gonna be an interesting night tonight. We are gonna be talking about Zelda, of course, tonight. We've got a lot to dig into. With the McBeal says I'm a Seth addict. There you go. I like that.
Oh.
I like that a lot. There you go.
Seth is on that purple drink, so.
Oh my gosh, it's gonna be interesting. I have some tea in this cat mug that my wife got me. I've got some cough drops here, so it's gonna be okay. I didn't want to miss tonight's show. Could have called out sick. Didn't want to. I wanted to hang out with you tonight and talk about Zelda, among other things. So I guess let's get the party started, my friend. What have you been playing? What have you been up to? I know you picked up some last-minute eShop games. I'm excited about this.
I threw down some money.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited about this.
Can I go into a semi-quick story of my journey to panic buy these last eShop games? So, I had my parents here this past weekend.
Right.
Lovely to have them here. Didn't do any content type of things. And then Sunday night rolls around and I was like, oh crap. I have not bought any of the games that I need to buy. So, and I'm going to show my physical early for tonight. I actually have a 3DS.
Yep.
It's a little dirty because I haven't properly cleaned it, but I have a 3DS now. Yep. So all of these games,
2DS.
yeah. So all of these games I bought, I wanted specifically to buy and download on that. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, let's just go into the shop. Let's favorite all the things, and then I can do the whole payment thing. I favorite everything. I didn't even look to see what the SD card was that was in here.
Yeah.
So let me just say,
That'll do it.
setting up like adding funds,
A nightmare.
adding funds to buy these, a complete nightmare. I had to create an entirely new Nintendo Network ID because my 2DS one already has one locked to it, and you can't add the same network ID to another device. Is that right? Because I tried doing my original one, but it wouldn't work. So I hit that brick wall. Had to create another one. Luckily, I've got like 3 Nintendo accounts, so 3 emails, so we're good. So I had to link all of that up. That was a whole like hour of my evening. So we're hitting like 8 p.m. by this point. Hours away from the eShop, closing. And yeah, and then I started buying stuff. I had to do several different times of adding funds. Total transparency, I spent like $80. So
yeah,
not too much, still under 100.
Could be worse.
But
it could be worse. You didn't go into triple digits. You're
no,
good.
No. That's too crazy. I could not. And no offense to those that did. Like, if you did, completely valid. Just wasn't in
Somebody in the chat is like, I spent $500 this past week.
Oh my gosh. So downloading all of these, run out of memory. So we gotta drive to Walmart at like, oh my God, 9:30 to go buy another SD card. Bring it home. It's not formatted for the DS. So my husband's trying to figure all of that out. He figures it out, but I found in the midst of all of this, I found another SD card that was 4 gigabytes that I could use. Lo and behold, I get all the games. I'll list out the games, y'all. I'm getting there. I'll list out all the games. But I finally get everything purchased and downloaded to 2 SD cards, and now they're been joint. I had time to I didn't realize, I like panicked because I thought I also had to have them downloaded, but that was not the case. You had to just at least purchase them, and then you could download them later.
Yeah.
But I had no idea of that. So I'm like sitting here.
You're freaking out.
Oh yeah, freaking out. Completely freaking out. And finally, we get the SD card that has plenty of storage on it, got it fixed and reformatted, and I was able to re-download everything onto one giant SD card that's in here now in my 3DS. And so, long story short, I know this was a long story. The games that I purchased.
You went through it.
I did. Pushmo. Got Pushmo. I got 3 Ace Attorney games.
Yes.
I got Rhythm Heaven Megamix.
Hell yeah.
I got Attack of the Friday Monsters.
Oh my gosh.
I got a game.
These are like the Seth's greatest hits right
now. I know.
I
had those. I went in order of importance. I was like, I have to get the ones that Seth suggested first, and then I can go rogue after the fact. And so got those first, made sure I solidified those. And then I got a game called Fairune, Fairune, number 1 and 2. I got both. And then I got a couple games called Witch and Hero, 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
And then one that I found early on that I finally got was Miles and Kilo, which is a little boy and his dog. And it's kind of like a little Mario game, like the side scroller, very similar to that. But I think it released in 2020 or something. But anyways, I got all of those games, and it was a journey. But I kept telling my husband, my pain will be everyone else's entertainment. So you're welcome.
Yeah. Mick Bale says, realistically, how many of these games will ever be played? I bet you played a lot of these. I bet you booted them up. I know you booted up one of them for sure.
I played every single one of the games this is what I did last night, y'all. This is why there wasn't a video on my channel today, because I just spent the time to play all the games. So Pushmo was first, loved it, played through the tutorial, like the first world, I guess, of puzzles for the tutorial. And then I started on some of the legitimate puzzles after that. Liked that game. I played one of the Ace Attorney games, and I can't remember which one.
Yeah.
A lot of reading. I was getting tired. That was the last one I played. I was starting to get sleepy. I was like, I need to put this down. There's a lot of reading in this game, but there was some funny moments. Rhythm Heaven Mega Mix. That was one that I played through quite a bit. It was hard to put down, but Attack of the Friday Monsters, that one legitimately sucked me in.
Yeah.
Like I could not put it down. I got through over half of the episodes last night.
Nice. It's not a super long game.
No, but I couldn't put it down. And I was like, okay, I've got too many games. I need to stop. And then I played the first of Witch and Hero, Faerun, and then I played a little bit of Miles and Kilo too. So I played a little bit. I think Attack of the Friday Monsters was probably my favorite, Rhythm Heaven being a second, and Pushmo as a third. So those are my top 3 out of the ones I played.
Yeah, good. Yeah, good. So these are these are like my my greatest hits here on 3DS. These are my favorite 3DS games that you picked up. So I'm happy to hear that you liked Attack of the Friday Monsters. That's one of my favorites too. And I thought you would like that. That it has that kind of cozy, sleepy Japanese vibe. If you liked that, after you're done with it, if you want something like it, the same director made a Crayon Shin-chan game for the Switch, called Shin-chan Me and the Professor on Summer Vacation, the 7-day weekend, or something like that. It has a terrible title, but it's really good, and it's basically like gameplay wise and like the vibes are exactly like Attack of the Friday Monsters. So
okay, I actually watched that show a little bit. Like, wasn't it Adult Swim type thing, right?
It was. The show is kind of crude and like it's kind of like, like humorous. The game isn't really like that. Like the game is kind of, it still has the stuff like Shin-chan still shows like his butt and stuff like
I was gonna say, does he show his butt? Because I remember that.
Yeah. But it isn't like, it has those same kind of sweet, like cozy vibes that Attack of the Friday Monsters has. Like every morning you do like your Japanese aerobics with your whole family and stuff. It's got that whole vibe to it. It's really good. So if you're looking for something with those vibes, I recommend that very strongly. And then Rhythm Heaven, I'm so happy you like Rhythm Heaven. That's like one of my favorite Nintendo franchises, and Rhythm Heaven Mega Mix being one of the games that we lost on the eShop, like that's one of the ones that stings the most. So I'm glad you picked that up, and I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure I picked up ones that I couldn't get physically. Like, I have a longer list of 3DS games I want to get eventually, but most of those are those AAA, ones that I can get physically, whether whether they are expensive or not. I could still get them somewhere, but I wanted to make sure I got the ones that I wouldn't be able to. So, and I didn't know anything going into Attack of the Friday Monsters, but I just loved it. I like the different scenes. Like you walk around this map and stuff, and every area you're walking, like the scene is like the angle
static.
It's just a little bit different. It's like you're zoomed up and all of a sudden you see him walk across like a bridge, and then it zooms out to the next area you're in and he's kind of further away walking down like an alley. Like it's very interesting, very very movie-esque, the way they have all of the scene changes when you're just walking around. Like it's more appealing to the eyes than just across the screen, type of thing.
It's like you're walking through a painting or something.
Yeah.
Like you're just walking. There's a game coming out on Switch called Dordogne, I think.
I have that on my list.
Yeah, that looks like it's going to be kind of in the same style too. So we're starting to see games take some inspiration from Kaze-Yabe, which makes me happy. I really love that sort of style of game. Well, I'm glad you're able to, for me, I didn't really panic buy much. There were a couple of, I already owned the vast majority of everything I wanted to have. There were a couple of virtual console games that I sort of last minute picked up. Like I got some of the light gun games on Wii U, like Duck Hunt and Hogan's Alley and stuff, which are not available anywhere else. and they're like $5 a piece, so I got all those. I picked up Murasame Castle on 3DS Virtual Console. There's a lot of Virtual Console stuff that I picked up. Stuff that I don't think is going to come to NSO. So picked up a bunch of stuff like that. Some GBA stuff on Wii U, like Car Battler Joe and Drill Dozer and stuff like that. But yeah, I spent like $30. So nothing too bad.
I didn't know how much I was going to spend because clearly I was very unorganized if my story didn't tell anyone. Like I had not done any prep work. Like I had to basically wipe the 3DS at the very start of the process because this was purchased, secondhand from a seller. And they didn't, wipe everything. So I had to go through all of that. By the way, you can tell when something was previously used from a child.
Oh yeah.
They loved making me characters. Oh my God. There was at least 30 me characters, all looking different, all with strange spellings and misspellings of names. It looks like they made one of their teacher and like I had to delete all of them one by one because I didn't want them just sitting on there. But yeah, I was like, clearly a child. Clearly a child had this previously. They had 30.
That's a good strategy. I should have because there was definitely a point when I was playing like Tomodachi Life where I was running out of ideas for people to make me's out of because I just don't have that many friends, especially back then. And I was like, who am I gonna make me's out of? I was running out of people in my life. I should have went with teachers. What a good idea that is.
Yeah.
My first grade teacher's name was Miss Bala, and I always thought that was a pretty good name, Miss Bala. Yeah, Bala. So I could have made a Miss Bala meme. That would have been good.
I know. You gotta look up to the children in that way. Yeah, they had a mom, a dad, they had an aunt, several teachers. It was wild. I had to delete all of them, and I looked at every single one. I was like, is this an actual person? Like some of them looked a little sus, but yeah.
That's kind of fun though, to like get a little window into people's lives, like to look at like their kind of save files and stuff and create little like, create little stories in your head for like, oh, this is probably their teacher and stuff. I don't know. I like that.
Yeah, because they had like Mr. and Mrs. and then their name on there. And I was I would have taken screenshots, but I was like, I was in the midst of just trying to clear everything.
You're in the thick of it.
Oh my gosh. So if anyone can relate to my story in regards to panic buying, hopefully you can't, but we can share that pain together because I was up so late that I still had some to download. I had already bought them, but I needed to download on to the bigger SD card. So I literally got to the point where it hit midnight. And I hit the eShop to download some of the last few games, got the close for maintenance message, and then kept checking back every 10 minutes to see. Because I was still panicking at that point. I was like, oh my God, I hope I can.
Well, I'm glad you got what you wanted. I'm glad you're able to get the stuff you struggle and all.
Oh my gosh. I would not ever do that again.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Hopefully we have some more future proofing on the Switch. So hopefully everybody out there got the games they wanted to get. Anything else that you wanted to highlight other than your 3DS games?
Reminder, y'all. We are 3 days, I guess technically 3 full days away now. Friday the 31st is the last day to get the winter collection. The Carpool winter collection is this Friday. I won't be rushing to close the shop or anything, but but Saturday morning I will be closing it, or at least removing those. The winter collection, and then there's a Carpool gaming tee and the tumbler, and they say limited. What is it? Limited edition or something?
Limited time or something.
Limited time, yeah. So definitely snag those up if you haven't already. I have the hoodie, the sweatshirt. I've got the mug, but it's not currently around me right now. I drank my coffee out of it earlier today. So yeah, after you panic buy the 3DS and Wii U games earlier this week, now go panic buy some merch.
Panic buy some Carpool Gaming merch. We'll take it. I love it. Nice. I don't really gaming wise, I like for me, it's been a couple of things. I'm not going to spend too much time on it because it's not on Nintendo Switch and it probably never will be. But the Diablo 4 open beta was this past
Mm.
weekend, and I got so sucked into it. Because I was sick, like I was laid up, NyQuil coma. So I literally, if you could imagine it, I spent my weekend on my couch, bought big old bottle of NyQuil next to me, just drinking that, collapsing, passing out, waking up, and then like in a fugue state, playing like 5-6 hours of Diablo, passing out again, just rinse and repeat for like 3 days.
Oh my gosh.
TLDR, I wound up spending like 20 hours with the Diablo 4 beta and maxing out 3 of the 5 available characters. So I played a lot of it and I really, really like it. And it became like, it went from something I was kind of like meh on to something that I'm getting day one. As soon as the beta, they had to pry the beta from my cold dead hands. I was literally playing it when they shut it down. A friend and like we rode that thing till the wheels fell off, and I immediately went and pre-ordered my copy. But that's not coming to Switch. What is on Switch is, now that I had that Diablo bug, I was like, I need somewhere to sort of direct my Diablo fandom to. And I had already spent so much time with Diablo 3. I have nothing further to do in Diablo 3. So I got Diablo 2 Resurrected on Switch. And it's hard to go back to. It's an old game. The game's like, 20 plus years old now. So it is tough to go back to, but it's been fun. It's been fun and like nostalgic and stuff. So been playing that and having a good time with it. And on also on Switch, I'm trying to finish up Bayonetta Origins, because we're doing a review discussion on All In this week. I'm probably going to wind up doing a video for Carpool on it. So I have stuff that I'm making around Bayonetta Origins, and I'm trying to finish that. I'm not gonna lie to you, but a bit of a struggle. I like the game, but it's too long. So it's just too long. Like it should be half the length that it is. Like I swear, I feel like I've been playing this game for 100 years. Like it's just, there's too much. And this game didn't have to be this much. I would have much preferred it to be half this length.
And that's so wild, because I've I watch several YouTubers, and the ones that have discussed Bayonetta Origins have said for the price it's not long enough.
That's
and
crazy. So,
and so you're kind of like on the other end of that.
Yeah. The game is, I mean, here's the deal. Like, I was worried before the game came out that it was not going to justify its $60 price tag. I feel like it totally does. Like, you're going to spend, especially if you want to 100% it, you'll probably spend 40 hours with this stupid thing. Like, there's so much in there, dude. There's like post-game content, multiple like playthroughs and difficulty modes, challenges, like all kinds of stuff, side stories and collectibles and little wisps to find in the open world. Like, there's a lot in here, and it's actually too much. Like, I kind of would have preferred it if it was just a little like 6-hour thing for $30-$40. I think it would have landed with me a lot more. Where it is for me right now, I'm like, this is really pretty. I'm liking a lot of what this game is doing, but you can have too much of a good thing. Like at a certain point, I'm kind of just like, I feel like I'm kind of slogging my way to the end at this point. I feel like it's good and I'm liking it, but I'm kind of looking at my watch a little bit. Like, goodness me. I feel like I'm watching a Marvel movie or something. Like, it's like, it never ends. It's like, come on. I want to, get out of here. So anyways,
that kind of okay. So that kind of reminds me of I specifically streamed only Lonesome Village, and I kind of had the same feels like the last maybe 3 streams of me playing that game. I was like, okay, let's get to the point. Let's how many village? Let's wrap it up, because so I can move on to other stuff. So yeah, I get it. It's just hilarious that you're just like, it's too long, dude. It's too long.
I'm kind of over it. Like, I'm just a little. Yeah, like I'm full. Like, I was full hours ago. I was good.
I ate and I'm full and I'm over it.
Yeah, like I'm okay. So I mean, look, I don't think you need to worry about the amount of content in the game, if nothing else. There is a lot of content in there. But I'm like, I'm literally, by the time I'm done with this game, I'm going to have put more hours into it than I did Bayonetta 3. Like, that's
Oh
wild
my
to me. This is supposed
gosh.
to be the little spin-off game. So, anyways, but that's pretty much all I've been playing. I know we have some questions this week. Do we want to tackle like the non-Zelda related stuff
Yeah, that's
first?
kind of
Okay.
that's kind of what I was gonna go over
All right.
first, since we'll probably be talking about the
Yeah.
announcements from this morning for quite some time. So
Mm-hmm.
I did ask those in the Discord, and if you're listening this on podcast feeds and not part of the Discord, that's how we always reach out to y'all to send in your
Mm-hmm.
questions and all of that. So if you ever want to be involved with the show in that way, join the Discord. It's always in the show notes if you're listening on podcasts, and then here in the
It's free.
description. It is. It's free. We're active there. It's a fun
Mm-hmm.
time, y'all. Join us. But I did pull some what other people purchased,
Mm-hmm.
because I did ask. The 3DS eShop panic was very much there.
It
So
was
I
real.
wanted it was very real. So I wanted to get other people's suggestions on what they bought. And BobLoblaw,
Blah blah
gosh,
blah.
Bob
Shout outs to
blah
blah blah blah, man.
he panic purchased Rhythm Heaven Megamix, the
Yeah, he
new
did.
Super Mario Bros. 2,
All right.
the Phoenix Wright games, and Kid
Yeah.
Icarus.
Yeah. That's a Seth special right there. Kid Icarus Uprising, my favorite 3DS game. What a game that is. Yeah, those are some good games. New Super Mario Brothers 2. It's all right. That game
Yeah,
was okay. It was good. Yeah, it's a
kind of
Mario game. It's like
kind of
at
mid.
minimum. Yeah, it's mid. Yeah, that's a good one. It's mid. Yeah, for sure.
Oh my gosh. And then famous Seamus
Famous Seamus.
asks, with the eShops now closed, are there any games you missed buying? They missed out on getting Dragon Quest VIII, the mainline Pokemon games, the Art Academy games, Xenoblade Chronicles X, and Crimson Shard. Is Xenoblade
Oh, they mean
Chronicles, is
Crimson
that
Shroud.
just... Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Shroud.
Yeah.
On the Xenoblade one, is that just the first one? The one that wasn't like moved over to the Switch? Or is that different?
That's so they Xenoblade 1 and Xenoblade 2 and 3 are on Switch. Xenoblade
Mhm.
Chronicles X was only on Wii U, and it's weird because it's in
Ah.
like its own timeline. Now that one you can get physically. It's kind of expensive, but you can get it physically. And I actually did think about that because I thought I looked at the eShop before it closed and I was like, maybe Xenoblade X is like $20 digitally. And if it is, I'll just grab it. But it was still full price. It was still $60. And you can get it physically for like $80. So it's like if
Mhm.
I'm gonna get it, I would just pony up the extra few dollars and get it physically. But yeah, I'm hopeful that they wind up porting that to Switch because the other ones are all on Switch now. So I'm kind of hoping that like next year, kind of in the between year, that's what they've been doing. It's like we had Xenoblade 2, then Xenoblade Definitive Edition, then Xenoblade 3. So X is the last one that needs to come over. So I hope it does. But
Yeah,
yeah.
because I have the Definitive Edition 2 and 3 now, all physically,
Yeah.
for the Switch.
Hmm.
So that's why I was wondering if that was a separate one, or similar to the I thought it was the Definitive Edition. I thought it was the same thing, but okay.
Yeah.
Another one I need to
Different
get.
game. Another one. Hopefully it comes to Switch though. I'm holding out for that. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Um, but I don't think I'm upset or feel like I've
No,
missed anything. I mean, I
I'm good.
panicked and I probably could have gone through. I didn't. Okay, listen, I didn't get Horseshoe Crab Rescue. Sorry, y'all. I know it was 99 cents, but
We
I
were all looking
just,
for that, man.
I was going in order of importance, and I was at the
Fair.
tail end, and then I said I was there for the eShops, needing to needing an update, a maintenance update. I saw the before and after look of how the eShop looked. So,
Yeah.
pour one out
That was
for
so
the
sad too, by
eShop,
the
y'all.
way. The eShops look so sad now. Like if you try to go, it's just empty. On the
Yeah.
Wii U in particular, it's just nothing. Like there's just at least on the 3DS eShop, there's like a little Nintendo Selects thing with like games you can't buy.
Mhm.
On the Wii U, it's literally on the Wii U eShop, I'm not kidding you, a blank screen. It's just nothing. It's a ghost town. It's sad. It's really sad. So,
oh my gosh. Yeah, there's quite a bit of art of the characters from the eShops, the one for the 3DS and the one for the Wii U. A lot of people are using those little characters and did art kind of as a send-off. So go look those up on
that's the
Twitter if you
thing,
haven't.
man.
It's so sad.
It's sad, and it's like this is, I think that is really the loss we have here, is like Nintendo made us emotionally invested in a digital storefront. You know, like they actually are the only people ever who have created with their eShops, made a place that was like you actually wanted to go and shop at, that had
Mhm.
fun and iconic music, that had cute little characters. On the 3DS, if you buy a game, it's like baubles going into a present, and then the present is on your home screen and you unwrap it. You know, we
Yeah.
don't have that anymore. Like, we don't have any personality whatsoever. We get a crumb of it whenever it's Mario Day, and now on the eShop on the Switch, you have a little Mario running around. We get a little crumb of personality. But otherwise, there's nothing, and that is sad. Like, I do kind of miss that, and I think that's a huge part of, I think, why everybody was so upset about this, is because, like, now we just get this stagnant, boring, no music Switchy shop, you know. So
Oh,
R.I.P.
it was definitely sad for sure. And so, yeah, if you snooze, you lose, I guess. Well, let's just, let's just, I will say, it did help me, the whole process of like setting it up, the funds and having to create a new account and all this. It made me appreciate having just a Nintendo account with the Switch now. So like I can have the
Yeah.
same Nintendo account on all three of my Switches if I wanted
Yes.
to. I don't have to create a different one for every single one, even though I do have three. I
That's
didn't have
nice.
to do that. That's for Animal
Yeah.
Crossing reasons. That's a whole nother thing. So I do appreciate that there's some growth there. So, you know, hopefully Nintendo continues to move in improvements versus, you know, backpedaling.
I hope so, man.
Fulia asks, what is a good co-op game for couples to begin with? And she is asking for a friend. Fulia.
Uh-oh. I don't
Fulia,
buy that, Fulia.
Fulia, who's your friend? Who's this
Yeah, who's the
buddy?
friend, Fulia? I don't buy that for a second, Fulia. I mean, my mind, look, the best co-op game ever made is It Takes Two. That's, you know, for me, there's no question. That's the greatest co-op game ever made. Now, do I think it's a great game for couples? I don't know.
Mm,
I actually think what I always recommend, I've been asked this question a couple of times, and what I always recommend is people find something that works for them and their partner, because my wife and I, we play a lot of games together, but it isn't typically, um, they aren't typically co-op games specifically. So, for example, I actually should have mentioned this in what we've been playing. My wife and I last night played Storyteller, which just came out. And that's this kind of like puzzle game where you like put together these different panels of a story and interchange it in order to make an outcome happen. So it'll be like, you know, this character dies and resurrects and falls back in love, and all, and you have to like rearrange these things in certain ways. And that's
mhm.
not a traditionally co-op experience, but my wife and I played that like it's a co-op game. Her and I were just kind of together, and we were, you know, figuring things out and talking it out and stuff. Ace Attorney, my wife and I played the Ace Attorney games together. You know, Strange Horticulture, another sort of like puzzle game, that these are not co-op games, but we played them together. So I think a big part of it for me is sort of like feeling out what works for you and your partner, because if my wife and I are trying to play actual co-op games together, we wind up wanting to kill each other by the end of it. Overcooked, forget about it, dude. Overcooked, like that almost creates like IRL fights. Like, it's
Oh
bad.
my gosh.
So
I think it's similar for us too. Like my first thought was Blanc because him and I
Mhm.
got through it within 2 different evenings,
Perfect.
an hour each.
Mhm.
I don't know their level of playing games. So I think
Anybody can play Blanc.
yeah,
Yeah.
if they haven't really played or really aren't into it, Blanc is kind of more of a simple game that y'all could get through, and we did not fight once when we played it. I think we
It's
fought
so
more
simple.
with just trying to control our own little animal in
Mhm.
some little bits. But I think Blanc was my first one I thought of. Um, Super Mario 3D World is a new one that we've been
Mhm.
playing together. Mario Kart, of course, but that could be
Competitive.
that could be competitive, yeah, but I usually win, so it's not a big deal for us. As long as I'm winning, it's
As
fine.
long as you win,
Yeah.
it's all good.
But
No
then
worries.
we do the whole thing similar with we take turns playing Fall Guys together. Instead of, I know you can play it together, but like early on before I got it on my Switch, we just had it on the PlayStation and we would just take turns. So anytime we kind of play that, it's just been that way. And we kind of get it's kind of a more of a family type game to take turns playing Fall Guys versus playing it co-op over online or whatever. So those are my suggestions, I guess.
Those are good one. Blanc's a great one. Blanc is so like that's just a great new like sort of shorthand for like if you have a person in your life who you want to get into games and introduce them to video, it's so simple. It's like there's not really like I don't really have any like glaring flaws with it. It's short. It's like a movie length. You're in, you're out. That's a great one. I would recommend you know, if there's anything too that kind of is more freeform, like I think about the Jackbox Party Pack games are also really good for sort of just like having fun together and like learning more about each other and stuff, especially if you're like early in your relationship. When my wife and I first met, we literally on our first like date in person, we dated long distance for like a year, and then when we met in person, we spent the evening just watching the Newlywed Game like on TV together and eating a bad Domino's pizza. And we were watching that and like answering the questions the way we would have answered them, and we learned a lot about each other that night, you know. And I think Jackbox Party Pack could sort of like tap into that too. So,
or you could play Family Feud, whatever.
There you go. That's good too. So yeah, there you go. Let your friend know about that, Fulia. Relay that information to your friend.
Sorry, Fulia. None of this info is for you. It's for your friend. So, you know, get a clip of the suggestions, write them down, pass a note.
Couple suggestions here in chat. Eric says Haven, which is a game about a couple. I don't know. Haven's good, but it's not. I don't know. I really like that game, but it's maybe you'd probably need a more experienced gamer with you for that one. And then I Can't See recommends Forgotten Land, Kirby and the Forgotten Land. That's a really good call. So,
yeah, the Kirby games are good, like take turns playing, or if there's co-op.
Return to Dreamland, even the new one. Has good co-op.
And the mini games too, usually in those games are really fun, little short bits of gameplay that y'all can just play together. And in the new one, I think there's some good ones too. So yeah, Kirby's a good one too, because those aren't as difficult also.
No,
so depending on their level, they could probably handle it just fine.
Good shout outs for your friend Fulia.
Yeah. I hope you're writing these down and passing it along, because
passing along to your friend Fulia.
These are chef's kiss of gems that must be written. Rybo asks, what is the single greatest triumph of Nintendo game design? Is it fun factor or accessibility? Why do we love Nintendo games? I feel like this is very deep.
That's a heady question. Yeah.
It is. Do we have the mindset of this? Me, Red Bull, you want syrup?
I'm wondering how deep we should. Maybe this is a question we should tackle in earnest some other time.
Maybe so.
I don't know if I'm in the right headspace for this. Maybe let's maybe tackle this next week or something.
Yeah,
because I feel like I'm going to give a stupid answer. Let me think on that. Let me marinate on that, Rybo. All right.
Oh my gosh. So Famous Seamus asked a couple questions. I'll pull one more from them, and then we can move on to the Zelda related, because we do have some questions related to that as well. Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom. How do you feel that Capcom, Way Forward, and Image Inform were the only publishers, developers selling their games for dirt cheap before the stores closed? I actually didn't even know that was the case.
Yeah. It was a little unfortunate. I kind of expected more people to put their games on deep discounts, but I didn't expect Nintendo to. I knew Nintendo wasn't going to do it. Why would they? We're all buying it anyway. They've already got everybody panic buying. Why are they going to discount it? Who cares? It means
Exactly.
nothing to them.
All the ones I got were discounted, but I think it was just because it was that way. Yeah, I don't know how, if I feel anything. I mean, it is, I guess I'm not surprised kind of in a way.
No, me either.
Because, if you wanted it bad enough and knew that the eShop was closing and you like to just have digital copies of things, or maybe the digital was still cheaper than what you found online for physical copies,
Right.
why make it cheaper, I guess. So I guess I'm not surprised. So I don't know.
And they did. I mean, they also gave us plenty of notice. They gave us
Oh,
like
yeah.
a year. You know
They
what I mean?
did.
Like,
They did.
They didn't spring it on us. You know what I mean? It wasn't. They didn't get blindsided. They told us about this like some time ago.
We only
So,
talked about it here on the Nintendo Drive back in January, and I still
yeah,
waited until Sunday night to do it.
it's our own fault. If you're panic buying anything, it's your own fault. So
Oh
is
my
what it is,
gosh.
man.
That's so true. They gave us plenty of notice. We could have bought them in spurts here and there throughout several
Yeah.
months. In fact,
But they
I could
got
have.
you at Walmart at 8 p.m. getting an SD card on the night of.
And you know what? We had to go in and out. Like, we were on a mission just to get an SD card right. And I told my husband, I said, okay, we got to focus. Entertainment center out. Like, we're here for one thing and one thing only. He heads us into the direction of toys and games, and I ended up getting the stress ball that I desperately needed, by the way.
By the time you're done with that.
He bought him, he wanted another one of these. It's a brand called Needoh, Needoh.
Right.
And it feels like it has pudding on the inside of it. It's very satisfying in a weird way. But anyways, we went there first because he wanted another one. And so I bought one too because I needed it in that moment. And then I may have bought a mini like Squishmallow while we were there.
Yeah.
And then we went and got an SD card. Yeah. We're right there. Not? I needed another Squishmallow to add. Low. Oh yeah. I was desperate for one withdrawals. Over here. Oh my gosh. But the other reason we are gathered here this evening, y'all. Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. Gameplay was shown this morning, and some surprise announcements, which wasn't really a surprise for many / anyone. Hardware announcements at the end.
That's right. That's right. Yes. We knew this was going to be a thing. They must. I was saying this I'm like, you guys, there's no chance they don't do a Zelda OLED. There's no chance. They did one for Pokemon. They did one for Splatoon. Of course they were going to do one for Zelda. And they got leaked like months ago. And in fact, there are people, it's so weird. And they haven't revealed like how they got their hands on it. But there are people who already have it. Like who have already done unboxings of it and have gotten their hands on it. So what I assume ended up happening is because Tears was supposed to release last year, so I think that they probably had these made like last summer, and one of the people who got their hands on it unboxed it, and the latest firmware that was on that system was from I think last June or something like that. So it's very likely that they were manufactured last June, and Nintendo's just been sitting on them. So there are people who have been able to get their hands on them already from warehouses, whatever.
Yeah. No idea how they got their hands on it, but yeah. I've seen those unboxings as well.
Yeah. So they just been sitting on them, man. And that's how it got leaked. And that's how people have them early. So we knew this was going to be a thing. And sure enough, it is. And you know what? I'm going to actually, if anybody is watching here on the YouTubes, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen here, and gonna go ahead and play some of this video. Let's just let this video play so we can actually talk about this and make sure everything looks okay. We have this Tears of the Kingdom OLED that they showed at the end of the footage, and we'll talk about the footage in a second, I guess. But the OLED itself, how do you feel about it? Because I think you and I have got different opinions on this thing.
Listen, I like it. And
Okay.
it might be 50-50 for people, but I like it. I don't know. I didn't really have a thought or an opinion when it leaked, because I'm always on the side of it's not really happening. Like, I don't want to set myself up for disappointment.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. I like the gold Joy-Cons. I like one of them being like the green style and the other one having the white. And then obviously the white OLED dock with all gold looks really nice. I think I would have liked
I
to
do like
see,
that.
some of that green again, that they have on
Yep.
the Joy-Con also on the dock itself. But I don't know. I like it. I like how it looks. It's, but I really loved, the Scarlet and Violet OLED too. And I probably, if I had to choose between those two, like today, I would probably lean towards the Scarlet and Violet one still, just because of all the colors and stuff on that one.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like it. And you're the
I like
opposite
it.
of that.
I think it's okay. I like the gold. Zelda and like gold stuff has like a long history going back to the gold cartridges on NES and N64 and stuff. And whenever they did the Skyward Sword, they had a gold Wii remote that came with it and stuff. So this tracks. I don't know. Like the designs on it don't really do anything for me. It's got like the weird little crop circles on it and like the strange little designs. I don't know, man. I'm not floored by it. I
Mm,
don't hate it or anything. If they were to sell them separately, I probably would get them, but it just doesn't have me rushing out to buy like a whole new OLED, you know. I like the dock actually quite a lot. I wish I could buy these parts individually. Like if I could do that, I probably would.
yeah.
And it's got like the crop circles on the back of the Switch too, and I'm just like, no. It's like it's okay. Like I'm just not floored by it.
The crop circles.
That's what it is.
It's got a bunch of thumbprints on this freaking dock. What's happening here?
What's going on here? You could probably scan that somewhere. But this right here, this Pro controller. Now, I like that a lot. The Pro
Yeah.
controller is good. And I'm a sucker for a good themed Pro controller. This I think looks pretty sleek. I see some people that don't like the off-colored handle, like the white handle and the black handle.
I
it's
like
cool.
it, but my first thought
Yeah.
is how quickly is that going to get dirty? But that doesn't mean I'm not going to still get the Pro controller. Like, as much as I like the OLED, I'm not going to get it because I have one.
Oh wow. Okay.
I'm just going to
Yeah.
wait.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely I'm going to try and get my hands on the Pro controller. And maybe even the
Yeah.
carrying case. Maybe I could go for a new carrying case. So
Yeah.
those drop on the day
Sweet.
of the game. So I need to figure out how to purchase those because you can already like pre-order
Yeah.
the Switch itself, but I don't think I've seen any news on how to pre-order the Pro controller and the carrying case. So I will have to see. But yeah, I like it
Yeah.
too. But I'm a sucker for. I usually lean towards hardware that is mostly black with like accent colors. And so because it has it's mainly black still, but it has like the gold, and I do like that one of the handles is its
I do
own color,
too.
so it's just white.
Yeah.
It makes it a little bit more interesting than and I don't even have it in front of me, than the plain black like Pro controller. Like I think that's too
I
plain.
agree. Yeah. I almost wish, because I think what they're trying to evoke there with the off-colored handles is like Link having his like weird little arm in this game. And there's a part of me that kind of wishes it was like translucent green, like how his arm is,
Ooh, yeah.
instead of white. That'd be kind of neat. But they didn't do that. I think it looks really sleek. I like the black and gold. I have the there's a Monster Hunter, I don't have it next to me, but I have the Monster Hunter Rise Pro controller that's kind of similar to this, where it's black and gold. And I like it a lot. So I'm 1,000% getting the Pro controller.
Oh yeah, for sure. I've gotten very close to getting the Xenoblade Pro controller.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Yeah.
because of the maroon coloring and stuff on it. So I don't know. I just want something other than this plain black one that's partially see-through that is
Yeah.
just kind of dull, you know?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. But should we take a look at some of this gameplay here
Yeah.
that they showed? So they had this like Mr. Aonuma, presents where he basically just played the game for like 10 minutes. Which is great. This for me is exactly what I wanted out of this. I didn't want some big blowout. I didn't want him to play, half an hour or show me any story stuff. I just wanted this basically. Just like show me the game running in motion, show me some of the new features, like what is making this different from Breath of the Wild. And for me, like that's exactly what this was. Like this made me really happy to see. And it was nice too. Like he opens the presentation by saying development is done. Like it's not
Mhm.
delayed or anything like that. Development is done, and it's coming out May 12th. And here it is in motion. We get a look at these Sky Islands, as they call them, or Skylands, or Skylanders, if you're Sean.
Sky Rule.
Sky Rule, that's right. And they show off like some of these new abilities with Link's weird arm, as we're seeing here on screen. He's got this ability called Recall. I think this is essentially taking the place of the Sheikah Slate from the
Mhm.
first one. And you can like find items in the world that you can like rewind like their placement in time.
Yeah, like I had no
Cool.
idea. We've seen the footage of the thing, the boulder going up, and you kind of
Yeah.
see its path or whatever in past trailers, but we had no idea in what way or how it did that. I just assumed it was just like an elevator of sorts that just goes up and down, and then you come across it and you get on board and you go up. I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought it wasn't that
Yeah.
creative, so maybe this is a little bit more creative than that.
A little more
Um,
creative. Look at the draw distance too. Like it just
yeah.
like I watch this and I'm not gonna lie to you, it makes me like retroactively more annoyed about Pokemon. Like I look at this and I'm like, this game is so big and beautiful and has like all this going on, and I'm just like, and it looks like it's running well, which is nice, and so yeah, looks like it looks really good. I'm
It
happy with this.
does. I just like all the
Yeah.
different additions to like
Mm-hmm.
now that I'm playing Breath of the Wild, I'm actually seeing some of the, add-ons to that game for this one,
Mm-hmm.
which was what I was expecting, with the new game was
Yeah.
just making some improvements, but still keeping it very similar in certain ways as well.
It
Um,
is a sequel. I feel like that's
yeah,
lost on a lot of people. Is like people are like, it's like it's. I'm like, this is literally a sequel. It's a direct
yeah,
sequel. It was announced as the sequel to The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Like how different do you really want it to be? Gameplay wise, it looks very different,
yeah.
but the
But can
world ain't
we
gonna be that different.
Can we talk about the fuse
Oh my gosh.
power that you'll get? Listen,
Yes.
y'all, I am very hyped. Like, so hyped. Like, obviously, there's durability with the weapons. You can add a freaking boulder to a stick, and you
Mm-hmm.
have like a makeshift, I don't know, hammer of sorts that you built together. They explain, they show and kind of explain that's what those vehicles are that you see. You're fusing together some fans with platforms, and I think it's called something different for that power, but um, you're essentially making a lot of the vehicles that we've been seeing. And I'm just thinking you're going to come across these vehicles somewhere and
I
turn them
love
on
it.
and they run. But if you have the materials around you, you can just build it. And I think that's neat. Like it's more creative. It makes me want to explore all way more. Because I want to see what chaotic cursed
Mm-hmm.
things can I make with this fusion power? Like what else
It's
can I
so
add
good.
to a sword or a
Dude,
twig?
yeah, like I love how playful it is. Like I
Yeah.
love how like just experimental it is. Just like, play around with it, see what happens, and like when we play Breath of the Wild, there's so many little like collectibles and materials you're always picking up in that game, and you never have anything to do with them.
Mm-hmm.
So like there are, little odds and ends you can do with them, but you wind up with literally hundreds of things. The reason they made whenever they added the like master cycle, the bike or whatever, and the fuel that you use for it is just your random junk, is because they knew that you had all this crap that you had nothing to do with. So now in this game, you can just attach anything to anything, and they
Yeah.
all have use cases. Like in the footage, they show Link attaching a Keese eyeball to his arrow, and like it will hone in on enemies when you fire it at them. So cool. Everything has like a secondary use when you attach it to something else. I cannot wait to fuse a stake to the end of my master sword. Like just have a little piece of meat at the end of my master sword. I can't wait.
I'm gonna have so much chaotic fun with the vehicles I make, the weapons I fuse together. Like, I want to see everyone's cursed items. Like when it drops and
I
we're
can't
playing
wait.
around with it, please take screenshots. I want to see your most cursed thing, and we can do like a whole show around it. We'll save
Oh
them.
my
We
gosh.
can we'll save them. We'll set them aside for the Nintendo Drive, and we'll just look through everyone's cursed weapons or vehicles or whatever else. I will say when they first showed the boulder to the stick weapon, I immediately thought of Animal Crossing New Horizons because
Oh
it's me,
sure. Yeah.
and I was like, oh, it's just like getting materials and crafting and making a better tool or whatever. So I definitely got those vibes, but that's a more simple way or combo that you can get. I'm sure there are many others like this raft he's making that looks.
Yeah.
I don't.
With the ultra hand ability, which was a fun
Yeah.
little reference for anybody who knows about the very old Nintendo toy called the Ultra Hand, which is
Ah.
cool. You can make these little makeshift vehicles together. You have like weird glue that attaches to them. I don't know exactly what's going on there. You can attach like fans to them and stuff. This is very what this is. Um, for anybody who's played Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, this is lifted basically directly from that game. And a lot of
Mm.
what annoys me is a lot of people hated on that game because they were like, this isn't Banjo-Kazooie. Banjo-Kazooie is supposed to be this like platformer. What's with all this like vehicle creation? But the game was super fun and it had mechanics like this. Like I'm telling you, this is lifted practically right out of Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. And it's really funny that like people are looking at it here and they love it, and they looked at it in
Mhm.
Banjo and they crapped all over it. So is what it is. I'm not
That
bitter. But
that is
it
just the
looks fun.
way.
Yeah, exactly. So,
And
but it just looks fun.
I was wondering why there's fans around, obviously, um for this, showcase bit or whatever,
Mhm.
showing how to put this together. They kind of had to have this is
Yeah,
probably one of those little early areas that you can have access to and kind of play around with these types of tools. Um, but then again, you're like in the sky, so it would make sense to have random fans scattered throughout where you can just shoot up and then use your glider and go on to the next like sky island. So I wondered
yeah.
for a second, like, why is there just two fans just sitting over there? But
It's
it
also
makes a lot more sense now.
yeah, well, and a lot of this stuff too is from, if you're getting nerdy with the lore, Lockleth. I love getting nerdy with the lore.
No,
Um
please tell me.
this ancient race called the Zonai had all this like ancient technology and stuff we got a little taste of this in Breath of the Wild, like the labyrinths and stuff were made from the Zonai and stuff like that. So it makes some sense, and it seems like the Sky Islands are going to kind of tap into to them, and some of the technology with the weird hand that Link has, I think, come from them. There's this that we're seeing here on screen, Ascend, where you can just like morph up into the ceiling of wherever you are and just like go out of the top of it, which is crazy. Like
Yeah. It doesn't,
Okay.
I don't understand how it works, but it does. And like they showed, like you can, if you want to get on top of the mountain, which is a big pain right now that I'm having with Breath of the Wild. I got to climb these
Oh
mountains. I
yeah,
got to have
climbing.
stamina. I got to stop every
Yeah,
5 seconds. Like who has the time? Not me.
yeah.
So they kind of solved that issue for me anyways. They were literally thinking of me. Thank you, Nintendo, for thinking of me. I appreciate it. I'm glad you listened to the show. Hello. Um, where where you're in a cave within a mountain that you want to get to the top of, and you can use ascend and go up and literally pop out of the ground. Uh, yeah, I don't know. It's like
That's so
Mulan. When
fun.
after the avalanche, it's gonna be bodies coming out.
Yeah.
It's gonna be bodies coming out of the snow, like
That's funny.
daisies.
Yeah. Yeah. It looks really, yeah, it just looks all these, and it is funny too, because like all of this stuff that we're seeing in terms of like the enemies and the combat, and like even the enemies can have weird little janky things that they make, which is happening here, and they're getting knocked off of the sky island and stuff. And um it just looks fun. Like I'm just looking forward to getting in there and playing around with it. Like I didn't need this to like completely reinvent what Breath of the Wild is. I just needed it to give me like new gameplay implements, and that looks like exactly what it's doing. It looks really
Yeah,
fun.
and all
I'm
the
into it.
Fortnite girlies and guys are eating up this little gliding down to
Where
the
are we
to the
dropping?
world below. Yeah,
Where's
where are we
Link
dropping?
dropping?
Say goodbye to say thanks to the driver before you leave, those types of things.
Oh
Uh
my gosh.
yeah, it looks so open, and playing Breath of the Wild, I haven't opened up a lot of the map there, but they've definitely kept with that theme. Obviously, you can go
Yeah.
anywhere up above now. Um I'm excited. I'm excited to play it. These enemies that they showed too look very interesting.
Yeah. Zonai enemies.
Mhm.
They drop Zonai charges and whatnot, which has got all the lore nerds freaking out. So yeah, it's cool, man. I was happy to see this, and I'm glad that they haven't shown any story stuff. And there is a weird kind of feeling that I have with it, where I definitely, whenever we don't know anything about the story, it is hard to feel like too attached to what's happening, I guess.
Mm,
But at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to know anything. I want to just go in blind and just get the story fresh. So I'm glad they're taking this approach with it. I don't want to know a thing else. Like I'm good now. We all the information that I want to know, we now know. I'm good. Bring on May 12th. I'm sold. You don't have to do anything else. I'm okay.
yeah. I mean, they kind of mentioned it too. Like he mentions like, here's this ascend thing you can do, and you can use it creatively in other ways. Like for instance, if you're in a cage and you need to get out of it, y'all know what to do. Like they know
Yeah.
we want to figure it out. And that's kind of the whole idea behind playing around and creating things, um, and just enjoying the game. I was very happy to hear at the very start that it's fully done too.
Yeah.
I was slightly panicked a little bit that it wouldn't be, or you get something, even though I was confident that they would, hit the date on time. There was a little bit of me that was a little scared, but yeah, they say it's good. So
I'm happy. I'm really happy with it. So, I mean, look, we're all gonna be playing it when this thing comes out. You're taking off work. I'm gonna
oh,
be
for sure.
useless. You
For
know.
sure. I'm not working Friday. I'm not working that Monday. All weekend. It's supposedly Mother's Day, but sorry, Mom, I'm busy.
Felia's in here in chat saying hi from Sean's car. So I guess they
Oh
linked
my
up. So that's
goodness.
good.
I'm not
Oh
jealous
my
one
gosh.
bit.
Yeah, neither. Maybe Sean's the friend. Maybe that's who the friend is. Maybe it's Sean.
That would
So
be wild. But we did have some questions in regards to these announcements. Presto the Magnificent asked, "What do you want to build the most in Tears of the Kingdom?" And mine is easily uh, going to be some sort of cursed weapon. Like I just want to
yeah.
see. I think I thought of food too. Like what can I quickly cook and add to the end of this club that I find randomly? Or, is there enemy parts that I can add together? Like, how many things can you fuse? Is it just two? I'm curious to know if you can do more than just two things. Because like I want to stack like as long as like longer than Link, that he's like pulling
like when you would
around.
put the highlighters together and make
Yeah.
like a highlighter
Yes.
sword.
Yes, I want that. I want my version of a highlighter sword with at least 5 highlighters on it. That's what I want.
Oh my gosh. Yes, please. I'm in the same boat. I just want to make janky, dumb little weapons. I want to put like cake at the end of a sword. Like I want to shoot pumpkin pie arrows, like, yeah, it's going to be really fun. I can't wait.
Oh, same. And the same with the vehicles too.
Yeah.
Same
Yeah,
with
what
the
dumb vehicles can I make? Yeah. It's going to be, and like, it's already really fun to watch like Breath of the Wild speedruns, but this one's going to be wild. Like, speedruns of this game are going to be insane. I can't wait.
Oh gosh, hang on a second. We have a request in the Discord and I'm responding. But I responded. So,
okay.
Moving on to Quagmire. He says, "What is your hype level for Tears of the Kingdom after this presentation? Mine is off the charts. I'm so hyped. I've taken they're taking the May 15th off from work. I was at work and not able to watch the presentation, but seeing the screenshots, it looks like what we expected. Their only concern was performance, but from what they read, it looks to be similar to Breath of the Wild, which wasn't perfect, but it was definitely very playable. And same, like it looks legit. It looks amazing. And in which system we're playing this on, it looks like it'll run just fine. And I really haven't seen a lot of issues with Breath of the Wild though, but I'm also very early on in it still. But just looking out and seeing everything, like when they were up top on one of those sky islands and just seeing the shadow of the giant dragon in the distance kind of flying past, that's what I'm excited about. I'm glad that it's gonna hopefully run well. It looks like it will be. So I don't know. My hype level off the charts too. Off the charts. Man. I'm taking the 12th off and then the 15th as well. So I'm excited.
Interesting. I'm looking forward to it as well. I mean, like, I'm gonna be taking time off too. Yeah, when this game comes out, we're all gonna be playing it. Looking forward to it. Did we have other questions about Zelda, or was that
we had one more from Antics. Okay. With everything they've shown today, fusing weapons for the win, which right there with you, plus the potential for returning dungeons, do you think Tears of the Kingdom Tears could be lightning in a bottle again, like the first game, or do you feel it's still too similar to stand on its own to have a massive impact? And I think we've kind of covered this already. I think it's a sequel. There needs to be. I was hoping it would be playing off of the first game, and I think it'll have its own nice features that makes it kind of a standalone, like the whole cursed weapons and vehicles. I keep going back to those because that's kind of all we know right now, but I'm sure there's going to be a lot more to like the story and the lore and the puzzles that we'll just discover along the way. The Ascend being another power. So I don't know. I'm not concerned, I guess is the gist of my level for it.
Same. Well, Lockleth, we have got a special guest
joining
us here. We have multiple special guests joining us here. We've got, oh my gosh, we got Marcus O'Neill back there. We got Fulia and Sean. Hi, guys. And the tires and the dead bodies.
I was going to be like, what are those trash bags?
Hey, guys. You're going to McDonald's?
We're going to the mall. My camera won't work to get
Oh my gosh. Y'all. Hello.
Hey.
I am not jealous whatsoever that y'all are all hanging out, have been hanging out. So jealous.
I love this. Oh my gosh. Y'all are going to the mall? What are you doing at the mall? Just shopping?
We're gonna
hanging out? Awesome. Look at this, man. I love this.
Marcus is like, I'm just back here with the tires. Don't mind
Mark's just
me.
hanging out.
Literal carpool. Yes. Literal carpool.
It's a literal
Mhm.
carpool. That's right, baby. I love this, man. Look at you guys. Well, we definitely expect pictures, guys. Come on now. I love it.
Okay, bye.
Okay,
Bye, guys.
bye.
I love you all. Bye. Oh my gosh, that was nice. Good for
So
them. So that's who.
if y'all weren't,
yeah.
if y'all weren't aware, we were trying to send the link to Sean and them so they could hop in here. That's what I was like. I need to respond to someone in Discord, and my link didn't work, and then Seth had to do it. So if I was talking for a long time, I was trying to stall.
We were trying to stall for time. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's cool. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad they got to link up because Fulia is in Canada right now for hockey games, and so I'm glad they were able to link up in the literal carpool.
I know, literal carpool, and we were kind of part of it, but not really. But yeah, Fulia's been up there playing the old hockey. I've watched I watched at least one of her live games, which was neat. I don't ever watch hockey, so you know I love you when I'm watching you live.
I love it. Cool, man.
Gosh.
Well, do we have any other questions, or was that the last one? Do we hit them all?
I think we hit all of them.
Sweet.
Tonight was kind of more of a rush to get live type of thing because,
yeah, for sure.
All the things. But I showed my physical early, with the 3DS.
Oh, you know
kind
what?
of
I have
my
a
secondary.
Physical.
Oh, you do?
Hold
Look
up.
at that.
I have a physical. So at Walmart yesterday, my wife found Toad.
Oh my gosh.
She found a little Toad.
Does it have the buttons and patches on the back?
It does, but there's no like stickers on the butt. It's just blank.
Yeah.
So,
I was kind of hoping that they would add just a little bit more because that's literally what my little baby version has. It has like the tiny same colors. They're just plain painted.
Yeah, but he's cute.
Your version and mine. The difference in sizes. That's literally that's literally your height and me. This is us.
Exactly. This is us. So yeah, I get a little physical. Yeah, my wife found this. They finally added like an end cap at our Walmart for the Mario movie stuff. And I still haven't found Luigi yet. Luigi's the last one that I'm like must have. I would like to get Peach, but like Luigi, Toad, Mario, and Bowser were the ones I'm like, I need these. The Peach figure doesn't look as good as the other ones.
Really?
Like the mold on it is not as good as the other ones. But
and I didn't look, but is it her in her like dress or like her in the like I kind of wish they would have made it the one where she's gonna, go out and battle,
Yeah, kick some butt in that racing outfit with the spear and the halberd.
Yeah. The racing outfit would have been legit.
I agree. Come on, man.
Free her from that prison that is dresses. That is too much.
Here at the end of the show, two things. So I don't know what we're doing for the Mario movie because the Mario movie comes out next week. So I don't know exactly what we're going to be doing. But what I do know is that we are in the ramp up. Tonight's episode 99. And that means that the next episode is episode 100. And we're working on a couple things. We don't know exactly how this is going to manifest. We don't know exactly what the plans are. But what I would like to do for anybody out there listening in the community, if you want to send in your favorite Nintendo Drive memories, comments about the show over these past 100 episodes, if you want to send in a video clip, an audio clip, I will work it into the episode 100 celebration. We're working on a couple of fun little things to celebrate 100 episodes of the Nintendo Drive. And so we're kind of working on that behind the scenes. So I want to throw that call out. Anybody in the community who wants to be a part of episode 100, send that stuff over to us, and we'll make sure you're a part of the show. So, but we'll see what happens. Because again, it's going to be weird because next week's also the Mario movie. So I don't know exactly how this is all going to fall. Maybe we need to do like a 99.5 and then a 100. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. But in any case,
I mean, my mind is a pigeon. I may be already thinking about the Mario Bros movie, but you're right. Tonight was episode 99. of the Nintendo Drive, which is wild. So yeah, keep that in mind. Send us your stuff, and Discord is a good place to send. Reach out to us. I'm pretty sure you can just message me on Discord.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
just
think I have
message
it.
one of us.
Yeah.
What we could even set up like a Google Drive or something in the Discord that people can upload stuff to if they wanted to.
Yeah.
So, but we'll make sure you all have a chance to contribute to episode 100 if you want to.
Yeah,
So,
whether that be
it's coming
next
up.
week or the week after. We'll definitely let y'all know when that's been more solidified.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. But Seth,
there's a lot going on.
Where can people find you on the internet, my friend? We have reached the end.
We've
all
reached
the hype.
End. Oh my gosh. Here lately, you can find me passed out on my couch, drooling and playing Diablo. But you can, of course, find me. I don't have the mental capacity to come up with a funny gag. So just twitter.com/$2hero is the place to find me. Thanks. I love you all.
And y'all could find me like this, probably, playing for the next few days, because I'm still not done with this Attack of the Friday Monsters game, y'all. I'm going to finish it this week. I'm pretty confident. I can't put it down.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you will.
Yeah, for sure. But y'all can find me here on YouTube at Lockleth. You can find me on Twitter at LockletTWT. You can always find me here and as part of Carpool Gaming, as part of the Nintendo Drive. But thank y'all for hanging out with us for tonight's 99th episode of the Nintendo Drive. Bump that like button if you haven't already. And fuel this carpool in the comments below with your anticipated cursed weapon that you plan to build in The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Let us know what cursed items you're going to build, whether it be the weapon or the vehicle. I'm very curious. I want to know. Let us know.
Let us know. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you so much for watching this episode of the new Nintendo Drive. Now, before you drive off, be sure to like the stream and subscribe here on YouTube, and follow us at Carpool Gaming on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. If you liked what you saw and want more, be sure to support us on Patreon at patreon.com/Carpool Gaming.
Deek.